Hello everyone, I am the Weather Dude. Welcome back, and today we are going to be talking about the major winter storm, the New Year's winter storm, now named Winter Storm Frida by the Weather Channel, and it's going to be sweeping across the country, bringing with it some snow and also some severe weather. We'll be highlighting all different areas that can experience all the different kinds of weather today. And of course, do not forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy. So, here we are getting started here. Just to show you like the jet stream patterns here, we have the GFS model, and as you can see, right, we have the jet stream that's kind of dipping down like this, and of course we got the low pressure. It's going to be riding along that stronger jet stream current. Now, as you can see, out ahead of the system, there's going to be a warmer flow out of the south, right? The jet stream's curved up a bit more, therefore a little bit more warmer air is allowed to come in. But as the storm, now this is like Friday, but as we head towards Saturday, and the low now transfers off to the east, we now have, and also with the high up here, cold air is going to get thrown into place. We still have warm air coming up like this, and it's going to converge in that snow zone, right? Basically, pretty much from Colorado to Michigan, but more so now in this, this sort of region right in here is where we're going to see some of that snowfall, right? And of course, just because I didn't highlight you in that region doesn't mean you won't see snow, just a general area where we're going to see it. Maybe even a secondary area later on. Right? But for now, that's what it's going to look like. Jet stream dips down, got the perfect convergence of cold air from the north, warm air from the south, and there you go. So that's the kind of the jet stream pattern that we're going to be dealing with here. Now, I actually did very briefly want to talk about the severe side, because there is a little severe side to the system, and this is for tomorrow. All right? This is like out ahead of the system, if you will. We do have that marginal shaded region, and also, oh, I think it was trying to refresh here. I think that's why I did that. But we also have a slight risk region, and you can see marginal Dallas, Fort Worth, Louisville, and then slight is like Memphis, Nashville, Little Rock. All right, so still 6.3 million people in that slight risk, which actually is about almost 25 million people total. So it's a lot of people that are going to be under the gun for severe weather for tomorrow. And then for day 3, that area sort of expands to about almost 30 million people. All right, again, Louisville, Lexington, Memphis, Nashville. All right, and this is going to be for your Saturday, right on New Year's Day there. So some severe weather could be in store. But let's kind of shift into the winter side of this, and we have the 18Z run of the GFS coming in, fresh off the press. You love to see it. All right, so here we go. We're going to be tracking this as it comes out of the Rockies, right? Kind of got like a low pressure, some cold air diving from the north, some area moisture emerging near from the Baja California from the south. They're going to sort of combine, and then with that area of moisture, the low is going to eject out of the Rockies into the plains. And just so you know, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, there's going to be an area of sleet and freezing rain. So be very careful, because freezing rain is obviously more dangerous to drive on than snow or sleet or rain, right? So freezing rain is the worst. And then, of course, an area of snow and heavier snow to the north. Now, don't worry, for the snow total map, I did have a zoomed-in version. I just wanted to show you how the scale, the size of the storm zoomed out. But there's the low right there in Kentucky. Some heavy rain will also be in place for the Tennessee Valley, right? There's snow across Des Moines, St. Joseph, Missouri, all right, Chicago, and eventually places like, all right, Madison, Waukesha, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. All these areas are going to be in for some snow as we head towards, say, like Saturday night, and eventually Ann Arbor, Detroit, into later, a little bit later in the morning, excuse me, on Sunday. Right, but like 5 a.m., 8 a.m., it's going to start, making its way on out of here. And you can see those tightly packed red and blue lines mean a lot of cold air is on the way. It's going to be making a big push from north to south here. All right, so that was the GFS. Here we have the snow total map. All right, so some areas here like Des Moines could even see closer to 5 or 6 inches, right? But the southeast part of the state could close in on a foot. We're talking about 11 inches in this sort of region here in southeastern Iowa. According to the GFS, Chicago could see anywhere between 7 and 8 inches. All right, southeast corner of Wisconsin could see around 8 inches, maybe even half a foot for Detroit. A few inches there for around the Ann Arbor area, right? Even like St. Joseph could see a few inches. St. Louis probably not as much. Maybe a little bit more sleet and ice that could maybe add up to maybe a little bit of a trace of snow mixed in there. But that 6-inch plus region is going to be right in here. All right. And anywhere you see those purples, that's like 6 inches or more. And the red back in Nebraska means 12 inches or more. So there's a little 12, even 14 right there near Nebraska and Kansas. So I think each model that I'm going to show here today, we have the Euro, Canadian, a more high resolution Canadian, and the NAM as well. All these models are going to have like kind of like a bullseye, if you will, Most of them will have a bullseye, so for an area that could see more snow than others. So here we have the Canadian, all right, again, same type of thing, moisture convergence from north and south, right? Colder air for the north, warm air from the south, and there you go. Again, heavier snow in northeast Kansas, southern Iowa, northern Missouri, but north central Missouri, all right, Kansas, Oklahoma, Illinois, is the areas we're going to have the heavy dark purple, which is the heavy sleet, and also a little thin area of freezing rain. All right, that load is going to come out from the south and west to the north and east. All right, and again, a little bit off to the east here. All right, this is again 8 p.m. on Saturday, and there's the snow starting to advance its way towards Chicago. All right, now it's in the Milwaukee and Detroit and Ann Arbor. Then it sort of makes its way on out of there. All right, so pretty much by later in the day, Sunday, things should be wrapping up, with the exception maybe of some lake effect snow. Now the Canadian, yeah, they're talking about quite a lot. We got two areas. One in North Kansas, Southeast Nebraska, and another in Southeast Iowa, Northeast Missouri, and Western Illinois. Two of these areas could see anywhere between 12 and 18 inches of snow, anywhere in those red regions, with the highest totals being on the Iowa-Illinois border, around 17. All right, Chicago still around 9, Detroit maybe around 4 or 5. St. Louis gets a bit more according to this model, about an inch. All right, but I think St. Louis should probably, the metro at least, should avoid most of the snow. All right, sad or not, that's what the Canadian model is expecting. And there's your 6-inch plus region of snowfall in there. All right, now here we are moving on to the Euro. Now, little spoiler alert, Euro is probably the least bullish out of all these models that I'm going to be showing today. So, all right, again, same deal, moisture convergence, but then you can see it doesn't really last that long. It's more of a quick moving. Precip still kind of heavy. I mean, it's just out of here, southwest to northeast. Like, I mean, this is Saturday night. They have the low already in the east with some rain and severe weather in the south. The snow's already starting to taper off in places like Chicago and Des Moines. Where on the other models, if you looked at Saturday night, right? Look at the Canadian, for example. The snow was still heavy and was still all the way back here. The Euro has it lighter and all the way over here. So they kind of have a little bit less precip, and it's also tapering off quicker. All right. Then you can see, by the morning, a couple lingering flurries, and then by the afternoon, it's gone. So Euro doesn't really have it lasting as long. So that would be my explanation as to why they don't show as high totals, right? Like Detroit, for example, is only 2 inches. Ann Arbor is about 3 or 4. Chicago's 6 still. And then that's about it, though. St. Joseph's still about 4 to 6. All right. This dark blue is this 3+ inch region inside of that dark blue. And there are some areas, right, that could see like 6 or 7, 8 inches, but it's like stray areas. There's no widespread, 6 to 8 inches. In St. Louis down there, of course, maybe around a half an inch of snow, right? And here we are now moving on. Actually, yes. So by the way, all these were except for the Euro, all these were in the Kuchera ratio, and the Kuchera ratio is a more accurate ratio of measuring the snowfall as opposed to 10 to 1. I could only use the 10 to 1 for Euro, which is why I had to use it, but I've been trying to load all these in Kuchera ratio because it's a more accurate, snow to liquid ratio. So just wanted to put that out there. But the NAM model, all right, here we go. Again, nice area of sleet and freezing rain. That's all the messy stuff. I got the rain to the south, snow to the north. All right, and then again, some heavy snow is possible. And I feel like northeast Kansas, southeast Nebraska, and southern Iowa, northern Missouri, that's sort of area could see a little area of heavy snow. Maybe not the highest totals, but they can see some pretty heavy snowfall. And again, north side, here we go. Northeast Illinois, Wisconsin, of course, southeast part of the state, southern half of Michigan, southern half of mainland Michigan, getting in that heavy snow. But notice, right, this is Saturday night at 8 p.m., or around 7, excuse me. Remember, the Euro had it all tapering off, while the NAM, the Euro had the low over here, while the NAM is over here. So again, the Euro has it kind of moving quicker, and other models not so much. So if it does move quicker, expect totals to be on the lower end, of course. But the NAM actually has some snow lingering down in Oklahoma, Texas and Arkansas. Then that eventually, forms in the next area of southern snow. No spoilers or anything, but we'll see how that forms down the line. But here we go with the snow totals here with the NAM. And again, a much larger area, probably the largest area of 12 to 18 inches plus, right? And we're in those red area. And that includes Chicago, right? You can see 13 inches for you. All right, and then southeastern Iowa, of course, over a foot, maybe close to double digits for St. Joseph, Missouri. But they also have a lot of snow there in southern half of Missouri. Not sure how I feel about that, because why would there be a gap in the middle? But to each model its own. St. Louis still not much. Detroit maybe 7 or 8 inches. Ann Arbor maybe 10. So NAM definitely more, more bullish, kind of similar to what the Canadian model had so far. And here we have the RDPS model, which is like sort of a more high resolutionist, or at least a more narrowed time window of the Canadian model. All right, it is a Canadian based model. And again, there's your area of sleet and freezing rain, and of course heavier snow. Pretty much, again, closer to that rain snow line, you get the heavier snow because more moisture content in the snow to make it fall a little heavier. Now again, this is actually that's 2 a.m. It's like around 1 a.m. Here we are at Saturday night. Again, just to compare, just so I can show you guys what compare all these models to the Euro. Again, the low is farther west than what the Euro had, so the snow is still going to be lingering around and still falling pretty heavily, actually, maybe even the height of the storm for some areas by Saturday night instead of just tapering off. But the RDPS keeps snow around. So by the morning, 7 a.m. or so, Chicago, Gary, Indiana, and Detroit, Michigan are all still snowing. Right, even into the later morning, afternoon, still some lingering snow showers for Detroit, and then the snow forms a little bit there to the south. Could it even reach this parts of the south and maybe the Mid-Atlantic coast? We'll see. Depends how much moisture is lingering and how much and how quick that cold air wants to rush in will determine if the south and the Mid-Atlantic do see snow. Right, and here's the totals for the RDPS, the 18Z run here. Again, 2 areas here and here. That could see 12 to 18 inches, but other than that, that 6-inch plus region does extend for basically Chicago, and then points west-southwest from there in this zone could see that 6-inch plus of snow. So overall, this is going to be and by the way, 1 inch of snow for St. Louis. So St. Louis, you got 2 models on your side here. It was the RDPS, and I think it was it? Yeah, RDPS and GDPS. So the 2 Canadian models, which probably do have a colder bias, but that is it. So definitely a lot of snow for the areas that do see it. I think the heaviest snow, what the models generally agree on, is that Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois region in here. Probably a good bet you guys are going to see over half a foot, and definitely some areas in there could see over a foot for sure. On the one localized area is going to get above a foot, as long as the low doesn't move too fast like the Euro was saying. So definitely a story to continue to keep our eyes on. I am the Weather Dude signing off. Till next time, catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.